The memory is a scar that time cannot fade. Get out, mother. Serafina doesn't want you here. My son, Caleb, roared that night. The words echoed through the ornate ballroom, silence descending on the 200 guests who had come to celebrate. In that moment, standing before the vast assembly, I understood the terrible finality of words spoken in rage, words that splintered forgiveness beyond repair. I am Ilara, 57 years young, and this is the chronicle of how a beautiful wedding became the catalyst for a family's undoing, yet, paradoxically, the saving grace of my own life. The day was meant to be flawless. We had spent months curating every detail. The old family homestead's gardens were awash with pale white roses. I had personally stitched the linen tablecloths during countless sleepless nights. Everything was, by my estimation, perfect. Caleb was marrying Serafina, a woman with eyes as bright as glass and a smile that never quite reached them. She had materialized 2 years prior and systematically upended our quiet world. For the occasion, I chose the deep emerald gown my own mother had worn to my wedding. My silver hair was swept up in a dignified coil. I aimed for elegance, a quiet gravitas suitable for the groom's mother. Upon my entrance, Serafina's cold gaze met mine. She didn't speak to me, but leaned in to whisper something to Caleb. He walked toward me, jaw tight, his steps rapid. It was the same telltale expression he had as a boy, a look of guilt he refused to confess. "Mother," he began, his voice barely a breath, "Serafina feels your dress is too vibrant. She says the emerald is pulling focus." A sharp blow to my chest. "It's all right, son. I brought a simpler frock in the carriage. I'll change." His voice, however, hardened. "No, mother. It's best if you just leave. Serafina is overwhelmed. She feels you judge her presence." The music played on, the guests oblivious to the private execution happening 10 feet from the head table. "Caleb, I am your mother. I orchestrated this whole affair. Half the cost came from me. And you believe that permits you to sabotage my wife's joy?" He shot back, his voice rising. The room hushed. Then the final blow, clear and loud. "Leave, mother. My bride does not wish you here." I simply inclined my head, picked up my clutch, and walked out. No one moved to stop me. Driving back to the estate, the heavy brass keys to the property, the same keys my father had entrusted to me, along with the land, the house, and the ancestral legacy, swung against my neck. I went inside, removed the emerald gown, and folded it into the back of the wardrobe. Sleep refused me that night, but when the telephone rang at dawn, flashing his name, I knew a new chapter, perhaps a hostile one, was beginning. "Mother," Caleb's voice was leaden over the line. "Could you come over? We need a discussion." I ended the call without a reply. I retreated to the kitchen, the scent of the dark roast blend filling the air. The same blend I used to brew for Caleb when he was a boy, waking early to help me with the horses. Before Serafina, we were a fortress of two. His father's passing 15 years ago had left us alone with the homestead. We became a unit, learning to thrive on the land together. Caleb was 12 when he became my comfort, a boy with oversized hands and a premature solemnity, constantly striving to be the man of the house. He learned everything here, from mending fences to managing the cattle, providing a silent, strong presence when I grieved for his father. He promised me everything would be fine. And for years, it was. He returned after college, declaring that his true place was on the estate with me. We worked side by side. I managed the books. He tended the livestock. We dreamed together on the porch, watching the sun set. "My children will run here," he'd say. "They'll ride the same mares." I hoped he would find a woman who loved the earth as much as we did. He found Serafina in a city bar, a polished business executive who spoke in terms of assets and returns. When he first brought her to the homestead, the look on her face was unmistakable. Disappointment. "You live here?" she questioned, judging the old timber and the portraits of our ancestors. Caleb corrected her. "We live here. It's beautiful." Serafina smiled, but her eyes conveyed a different story. After that day, everything subtly shifted. Caleb grew distant, spoke of liquidating the herd, of transforming the estate into a commercial event space. "Mother, Serafina has sharp ideas. We could earn fortunes," he insisted. "This is our home, not an enterprise," I countered. "It's both, Mother. We must be realistic," he said, using a word that was foreign to his nature. The brass keys, my father's final legacy, felt hotter on my skin. "Don't let anyone take it from you, not even your son." His tearful warning echoed. Now, I finally understood. The phone rang again. It was Caleb. I answered. "Mother, I need the estate keys, please." His voice was a flat recitation, as if read from a script. "What is the purpose, Caleb?" I asked. I heard Serafina's voice, insistent in the background. "Serafina and I wish to make a few modernizations. A remodel. Replace the dated furniture?" The furniture crafted by his great-grandfather's hands. "Don't start with the drama, Mother. Yesterday was enough." "Drama? You ejected me from your wedding and I am the source of the drama?" I asked, my composure unnerving even myself. Serafina's will, her opinions were beginning to define him. He then delivered the final news. "We won't be residing there, Mother. We'll be in the city apartment. It's better for Serafina's career." The air left my lungs. He was abandoning the legacy he'd sworn to protect, the future he'd envisioned. But when I asked why he truly needed the keys to a house he wasn't living in, he revealed the cold legal clause that threatened to split my home in two.
"Because legally it's my property too, Mother. Father left 50% to you, 50% to me." The financial fracture was now exposed. While his father had indeed split the ownership, the legal control, the administration, and the keys were left to me. A critical clause stated I would determine the estate's future as long as I was alive and capable. Caleb would only receive his share when I decided. My husband had trusted me to protect our home, even from our own son's misguided ambitions. "The keys remain with me, Caleb," I stated simply. He resorted to pleading, a veneer over his impatience. "We just want minor changes. We could lease the place for luxury events, weddings, galas, generate revenue. Serafina has already consulted an architect, a new ballroom, expanded gardens." "No, Caleb, this house is not an enterprise. It is not for lease. It is not a project." His subsequent scream, "But it's mine too!" was the sound of a complete stranger. He accused me of clinging to a dead man's memory. "You're correct," I conceded with chilling calm. "Your father is gone, and perhaps it is time for us all to find separate lives." I was not kicking him out. I was simply holding firm to my legal and moral right to the home. Serafina's whispered accusation that I was selfish and clinging to material things was audible. I interrupted him with the story of a woman at the wedding. She told me, "When a son chooses between his mother and his wife, you must respect his choice, but you must also respect yourself. I am done competing. I only want peace." I touched the keys at my throat. "They stay with me until you possess a heart worthy of them." I hung up. After 3 days of radio silence, I broke. I called him, offering an olive branch. "Come home, bring Serafina. Let me make amends. Perhaps I have been unfair to her." I lied, the words tasting of ash. He agreed to dinner the next night. I spent the following day preparing his favorite dishes, roast turkey and peach tart. I dressed conservatively, hiding the keys beneath my simple frock. They arrived late. Serafina, impeccable and cold, surveyed the 100-year-old home like an auctioneer. "How quaint," she observed. At dinner, Caleb praised my cooking, and for a fleeting moment my son was visible beneath the veneer. I offered my mechanical apology. Serafina accepted it with a genuine, triumphant smile. Then she excused herself for the restroom. When she took too long, I went to check. The bathroom was empty. I walked past my late husband's study and saw the door ajar. Serafina was inside. Her phone raised, photographing the desk, the drawers, the documents. She was startled, regaining her composure too quickly, claiming the room was so interesting and vintage. They left shortly after. I walked straight to the study. The documents were shifted, and the one thing that mattered, the yellow envelope my husband asked me to open only if someone tried to steal the estate, was gone. Someone had been hunting for information, and they found a price. The next morning, the family lawyer, Mr. Harding, arrived with news of a very suspicious call from Serafina, confirming my terrifying suspicion. My family was under siege, and the enemy was already inside the gate.
Sadness. My search for the missing yellow envelope was fruitless. Then, Mr. Harding, our lawyer, arrived. He was solemn, smelling of pipe smoke and concern. Serafina had called him, he explained, demanding to review the will, claiming I had questions about the property division. I denied it instantly. Serafina's questions were disturbingly specific. Was Caleb's 50% transferable? Could he sell it without my consent? Was my administrative control absolute? Mr. Harding had warned her off, but cautioned me about her true intent. He also confirmed that the missing envelope contained a secret document certified by him, a protection my husband had left me. The next day, Serafina invited me to lunch, just the two of us. I accepted, realizing this was the final confrontation. At the city restaurant, she smoothly outlined her plan. She called the homestead a financial burden and suggested I sell or rent it. She proposed converting it into a boutique hotel or event venue, which she would manage as a partnership. I would receive the passive profit, they would receive the keys and the control. When I asked where I would live, she suggested a comfortable apartment in the city, free of maintenance work. It was a thinly veiled eviction notice. I refused, calmly and absolutely. The estate is not for sale. It is my home. She threatened to take the keys by force, but I cited my husband's clause, confirming my administrative lock on the property. Furious, she let slip the truth. You'll never see a single cent of your half if you keep being so difficult. My half, not Caleb's. Her true motivation was clear. A few weeks later, they arrived with 2 hired attorneys. They were prepared to argue that my refusal to commercialize the homestead was deteriorating the value of the estate, grounds for a mandated division of assets. Caleb stood silently, a puppet on a string. As the attorney spoke of the millions the estate was worth if sold, Serafina delivered the crushing news. Victoria, I'm 3 months pregnant. Caleb is going to be a father. A plea for the future grandson was their final emotional weapon. But I was ready. Enough, I said, standing up. They threatened to declare me incompetent, but I had already secured medical proof of my capacity. I walked to a hidden safe and retrieved a certified letter I had written with Mr. Harding. It stated my new irrevocable will. Upon my death, the property would pass to a trust, never to be sold or divided for 50 years. Caleb would only receive a portion of the profits if it was used for cultural or educational events. And if he contested the will, he would lose everything. I then pressed the brass keys to my heart. They are your past, Caleb, and until you grasp the distinction, you will not have them. He looked at me, rage and fear warring in his eyes. Then this is over. I don't have a mother. His words felt like a fatal wound, but I stood firm knowing I had protected the legacy, even if it cost me my son. Yet 3 weeks later, a broken, unexpected knock on my door revealed the true tragedy of Serafina's web and the chance for a different kind of future.